Hello. How you doing? Ta-da! I know I'm a little bit late, but I had to shave. How are you? How's it going? Is everything coming through properly? Yes, okay. I know I just asked you, but I thought I'd look at the screen that I spent ages said, oh god, blind. So yeah, hi. Well done on the first sledge. Nice to see you. Well done on the second, some Welsh dude. Fuck off. I'm Joan. I love you really. Where's your missus? Where's my beautiful sister? I'm just loading the game if you're wondering why I'm making you stare at my face with the wobbly mustache, which is really itchy. So this is going to be fun. Catchy tune though. Right. The game is loaded. I'll make it so you don't have to stare at my face anymore. I'm sorry. Ready? I slightly lied. The game kind of loaded. I love the Tash. Thank you, darling. Thank you. I may have made another character when I came off stream, because I just really wanted to play the game. Oh, the music's still playing. Stop. No. Bad music. That we are not playing Twitch VOD, people. There is no music. Create an online session. Make it private. Because I'm antisocial as fuck. And put another 2.5 hours into it. Yes, I did. I did briefly sit in a VC though. It was like 1:30 in the morning. Hi Ace. How are you, sir? How's it go? This is gonna piss me off so much. It's a shame I can't wiggle my nose faster, because I could make it could make a game of it. Try and poke my eye out or something. Anyway. Motherfucker! I'm late, Summer. Takes a while to get the Tash sorted. A French panda. Bonjour. Oh no, get something in my head. That's what I get for trying to be smart. My French isn't that great, so that's pretty much. I'm drinking a double Moscow Mule. You tell me how it is. A double. Okay. Livers are overrated, right? Oh, the pretty. Thanks. Just extra vodka. Oh, I don't like vodka. I used to love vodka. I used to drink vodka straight. I would have a litre of vodka over a weekend, just straight out of the bottle. Because you can take the girl out of the council estate, but you can't take the council estate out of the girl. So yeah, I don't like it now though. It's very bad, very bad. No. I will stick to my whiskey, if you please, and my rum. I know Sledge is fanboy in Monster Hunter. Oh no, well I don't play it very well, Sledge. I know that's not going to surprise you in the fucking slightest, but... Oh, and I discovered, you know how yesterday I was like, oh, I use the heavy gun all the time. It's not, it's a light gun. My computer was broke this morning. Then my chainsaw flooded itself. I got the chainsaw to stop flooding. And now the chain broke. So, Moscow Mule. Yep, nope, fair. But on a bright side, I also broke weird dad shit too. Aye, so well done. Thank you for the resubscription. I appreciate you. I am lurking in your stream. I'm lurking in a few streams. I've just not actually typed lurk. Because I was as this was loading in, I was like, fuck! and that's going to piss me off so bad. I realised I went bong-eyed there. I don't know if you saw it. Sorry. I stole my parents' vodka, put it in a water bottle, and got wrecked. Ooh. 3-litre flagon of cider at the skate park was mine. Yeah, no, I would drink vodka. Well, actually, I tell a lie. I would drink vodka straight if I'd saved up enough money. If I hadn't saved up enough money, I'd drink vodkat straight, which was the knockoff version of any form of vodka, which I'm actually pretty sure was just paint stripper. But your girl could put away like 1.5 litres and still walk home. Somehow. I'm gonna blame the Irish. Still streaming. I thought you were. Vodka is vile. Oh, I know. I know. I drank enough of it to know. Oof, my kind of woman. The only problem is, though, when you get used to drinking that level, I'd go for nights out with me friends. I do have some of them outside of, like, the internet. I used to have some of them outside of the internet. My wife would put away too, surprisingly. Well, she'd have to keep up with you, sir. But, yeah, you'd go on nights out and all my friends would be wasted after spending, like, 50 quid to, like, $60 to $70. And I'd still be fucking stone cold sober. Pissed me right off. It used to cost me about, like, £150 to £200 was the most I spent on a weekend and actually got drunk. So, $250 plus dollars. Fucking ridiculous. I don't know how I'm alive, actually. It's always fun watching everyone else tap out at the table. I mean, I would agree, but once everybody else gets drunk, I become the mother hen. Which is probably another reason I end up staying so fucking sober for so long. Because it's like, oh, what you do? Get down from the scaffolding. You will die. You will die. And I'm the only one sober enough to be like, no, it's not funny that you'll die. You'll die. You're not Batman. You're going to be Splatman. Fucking get off the scaffolding. I've had that exact conversation. Gin is now my bestie. I can put away quite a bit. Rum. Kraken, actually. Kraken is oof. Mm-hmm. Or when I'm feeling really girly, you get a bit of sangria and you mix it with either summer fruits wine or peach and pineapple wine. And then you put little bits of frozen fruit in as ice cubes. Oh my word, it tastes like Vimto. I don't know. I know some southerners don't know what Vimto is. I don't know if Welsh know what Vimto is. Flush. My friends are still having a hard time tracking how much I've had. Highly functional drunk, so there's me. And then suddenly, they're blackout, mate. There's blackout me, sorry. No in between. Fair. Well, shit. I'm gonna drink my tea, then I'm destroying some booze. That is fair. You have a guest soon, don't you? I couldn't think of the word guest. I start okay, then it's half and half. Love me a Vimto, good lad. Good lad. I've had southerners in here before and they're like, Vimto? What, pray tell, is a Vimto? And I'm like, well, you uncultured swine. I don't know why I suddenly go German. I need to play some Monster Hunter. Well, you do. I am going to see how much it is on PC. And then I won't be able to stream it on PC, but I'll be able to, like, play a game with you on PC. Sorry. For once, I actually have my camera up, so I can keep an eye on me tash. And I just saw it, like... So, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I'd be able to play the game with you, but I wouldn't be able to stream it. But I don't really give a fuck about that. I'll just stream it like this. Anyway, sorry. I should have kept it on the just chatting screen. I didn't realise that, like... I'm sorry. Right, what we're meant to be doing. So we can go after the turkey dinosaur. Or the Kuluyaku. Or we can do an optional, which is... learn the mechanics of the clutch claw. I can't wait. Yeah. Might look into Valheim as well, because I want Valheim so bad. So bad. Yeah. Oh, and I didn't realise yesterday, I'm really sorry. You know how I kept saying, like, oh, if you want to change the weapon, blah, blah, blah. I didn't realise there was, like, a 45-minute fucking cooldown on it. So I'm very sorry. I have fixed that. There is now a 10-minute cooldown on it. So, if you decide that you want me to use a weapon that's not a fucking bagpipe, you can redeem it now. And I'm very sorry. I swear it was an accident. Valheim's awesome. Then when someone's PC works. Hi, Omen. Are you still streaming? I've got your stream up on a tab. Hello. Sorry, need a drink. You are good. Dark Omen is also on Monster Hunter, just so you know. Oh! My scissor sister! My scissor sister! I may have, given you a new job in my stream, if you want it. Just so you know. Because I was like, she can't be my scissor sister and not also have, like, ultimate power. We'll do this one first quick, shall we? So I at least know what the fuck I'm doing. Yes, she is my sister from another... No, she is my scissor sister that has a mister. Because we're very... We're friends. But because we're friends, we get called the Scissor Sisters. So... there is my scissor sister and her husband. Pixar, it didn't happen. Do you know what? Some things are too precious to capture on film. Or digital film. And anyway, if there were pictures of it, motherfucker, you would pay for that shit. Okay? Oh, shoot. Hello, I'm the husband. I was like, for everything else, there is fun. What's a fun? I thought you were trying to say phone. Let's call him my tag-along. He is the creative director. There we go. I got bits, bitch. We all have bits, dear. Some of us have one type of bits and some of us have the other type of bits, but we don't need to get into that kind of conversation. Ah! Sounds like a pity roll. Oh no, I haven't got my alerts up. Fuck. Thank you for that. I mean, thank you for the biddies and stop it. I'm off to kill a Puke Puke. Good luck! We're gonna do that in a minute when I stop running my fucking mouth. It's like, hey, what that mouth do doesn't fucking shut the fuck up. That's what that mouth do. Jesus Christ. Okay. Open this. Move this down here. I'll do this claw thing first, then I'll do the shouties, because I feel like all I've done is sit here, talk to you, and have me little mustache wiggle out of the fucking joy. Oh! I like it! Thanks. Do you mean, wow, I'm actually finally doing it? What are you doing? Stop it!
I mean these, you misdirected crippled grid. Love me, because I love you.
Oh, okay. Misdirected crippled me.
Money don't jiggle jiggle.
No. No.
Wiggle, for sure.
I love you, random citizen.
But stop it. That is peak mustache. When is the villain arc? Oh god, that happened years ago. I'm a bitch with a backstory. Make me.
Money don't jiggle jiggle.
For every 10 bits you send on my stream, I'll send 50 on your next one. I see Monhunt. I like.
Let's get
Thank
you
you.
up to speed on using
Right.
the claw.
So we'll do this, then I do my
Let's
shouties.
go over the basics first.
Because I don't want to...
Use your clutch claw with your weapon sheath.
I want to actually play the game for you guys. You know what I mean? There is
Money
mean.
don't jiggle jiggle.
And then
it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle for sure.
Prove it.
Time for a little drinky poo. Cheers, genital.
Thank you for the hydrate. We still need to run Monster Hunter before the new one. You do! You do! Are you going to be running it on PC? I know it was. Don't worry. I'll find a way to get him too. Thank you for the hydrate. Right. Ta-da! Ta-da!
it.
I'm
Nice
aware of
work.
that one. Oh, that nearly got me in the eye.
You can fire your claw with your weapon
Listen,
drawn
mate,
as
you
well.
know me. I'm usually available.
Try drawing your weapon before firing the clutch
I know
claw.
how busy you are, so I don't pester. I know that. I know that one. Yeah!
That's it.
Really? This is not-
nice work.
I thought we'd be fighting
Each
a
weapon
monster.
handles slightly differently, so make sure to put in enough time.
So yeah, will you be doing it on a console or will you be doing it on
Let's move
PC?
on. Hit a monster with your clutch claw to cling onto it.
I would if there was a
First,
fucking monster.
let's go over the weapon attacks you can use while clinging to a monster. The type of attack depends on which weapon you have equipped. The one you're wielding now will soften up a monster's hide.
This stream's already blasphemy.
Before we move
Why
on,
not
let's
act?
get the exact
There is a
timing
redeem,
down. This is gonna be
and I know it
important, so
says
pay
choose your
attention.
champion because I didn't
The
rename
monster
it
is
because I'm dead
moving,
clever.
you're gonna have a tough time
But
landing an attack while clinging
you
on.
can click that
Attack
and you
monster
can pick
first
any
to make
weapon
it
you want.
flinch.
The only
Once
one
it
I will
stops,
say no
hit
thank
it where
you
it
and
hurts.
refund your points to is bagpipes because I
Okay,
refuse.
let's see if you can pull this off in practice.
Rasta lizard.
Pay close attention
Hello.
to the monster's movements and land your attack.
Swagger.
First to make it flinch, and once it stops, hit it where it hurts.
Next one we will do. I don't know if I can go back and do it now, can I?
You missed your own, but don't sweat it. Just focus on attacking it again until the next chance comes.
No. Right, get up, get up, get up, get up. Riveting gameplay. Shut up.
Your attack
Trying.
is less likely to get deflected when targeting a spot you've
I'm
softened up.
distracted.
If you're struggling to
Okay.
land a solid hit because the monster's hide is too thick, here's your answer.
Nope, that went
Let's
wrong.
move on.
I don't
Okay,
like using
next we're
clutch
gonna
claw.
Try to hit the monster's head while clinging onto it.
Right, what am I
Depends on the
doing?
monster, but there are usually several
Which
body
one's
parts
the
you can
swag
cling
axe?
onto.
Do you mean the switch
You can move
axe?
to different parts of the monster's body while clinging onto it, but you'll consume a lot of stamina. Make
Does it
sure to
let me
get your
swap
aim
the
right
weapon
before
here?
going for a particular body part.
Okay, I can't swap the weapon here, so it'll have
You'll
to be the
need
next one.
slinger
Switch
ammo.
axe, okay.
Go find some and load up.
I refuse to use it. I don't like using it. I was just like, I'll quickly get this out the way with while I talk absolute shit to you. Because I'm trying to be nice. Oh, then. Oh, load the slinger. I knew that.
Attack the monster first to make it flinch, and once it stops, hit it where it hurts.
Well, I did, but it
Make sure
didn't.
you don't get shaken off.
It wasn't happy.
There, it stopped moving. Grapple on. Now, use your slinger.
Oh.
You missed your opening, but don't sweat it. Just focus on attacking it again until the next chance comes.
Well, I did press the
You're out of
button.
slinger ammo. Best get off the monster for now.
I'm quite a fan of the light gun. I thought it was a heavy gun. It's not. It's a light gun. Where's the oops? You gonna do the thing? No. Not gonna do the thing. Oh no, we have fight and talk. Now, ladies, play nice. Handbags and 10 pieces. Oh, well, you fucking missed.
That's it. Nice
Right.
work. That attack will consume all of your slinger ammo, but it can knock back
Hippity hoppity, this
monsters.
monster's now my property.
Let's move on.
Who needs shield when you can just point the monster's face and explode all over them?
Now let's look at how to attack with your clutch claw. You can use this attack when clinging onto a monster's head.
No, most people
Attack the
can.
monster first to
I
make it
probably
flinch,
can't.
and once it stops, hit it where it hurts.
Didn't we do this?
Use a claw attack to force the monster to
Oop.
change course. Attack the monster
slipped.
first to make it flinch, and once it stops, that's it. Nice work. Try again.
Boom.
This consumes a lot of stamina, but it allows you to make the monster change directions in quick succession. Uh-oh, looks like the monster is getting angry.
Well, yeah, I
You
was
won't be
clinging
able
off
to
its
knock back
fucking
monsters
face.
Or get them to change course.
So
Any
obviously
monster
it gonna
becomes
be a
threat
bit
if they're
mad.
angry enough. Keep a close watch. When angry, monsters will be a lot more aggressive, so it's best to keep your distance.
You got
for
it,
a
well
while.
done. Right, have I got any? Yeah, I've got it back.
Looks like it's calmed down. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Great, awesome.
Don't jiggle jiggle.
It. Oh, stop it, because I'll get a hype train.
Everything you've learned so far into
Stop
practice.
it. And if you do a hype train, Guy will appear. You know what he's like.
Fire your slinger
Not that
while
I've got
clinging
anything
onto the
against Guy
monster's head
appearing,
to
but
make
Guy
it slam
appearing when
into
there's a hype
walls.
train, very, very bad.
This will be a great opportunity to really wail on the monster. This is your time to shine.
Money don't jiggle jiggle. It folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle.
Well, that was
For
just
sure.
naughty.
Money don't jiggle jiggle.
Oh no!
Folds. I like to see you
Stop
wiggle
it!
wiggle. For sure. Money don't jiggle jiggle. It folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle. For sure.
I appreciate you guys, but stop!
This is naughty.
My money don't jiggle jiggle. It folds. I like to see you wiggle
Get on its
wiggle.
head.
For sure.
You're not very good at this, are you?
Keep a close eye
I
on your
believe in
stamina.
you!
Grappling onto a monster will burn through it in a hurry.
Right, which way are you going? There we go. No. Punchies. Punchies.
Close
No,
eye
no
on your
punchies.
stamina. Grappling onto a monster will burn through it in a hurry.
Oh well, I was wrong. No hype train. Yay. I'm just gonna have to twat it, aren't I? Fuck! That was unnecessary! Oh no.
Grappling onto a monster will burn through it in a hurry.
It's not that I don't appreciate you, but motherfucker.
My money don't jiggle jiggle. It folds. I like to see you wiggle.
Oh my goodness, stop it!
My money don't jiggle jiggle.
Just wait until all you stream, right? That's it.
For sure.
Means war.
My money don't jiggle jiggle. It folds. I like to see
Oh
you
no,
wiggle
not the
wiggle.
last bit!
My last bits.
Hey, that should have collided with
Looks
a
like you're straight too
wall!
far from the wall. Don't worry. Just try it again.
Fucker. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What are you doing? Thank you. This just has to be better. Well, obviously, it's Ace. I feel like I'm gonna kill this thing before I
Don't rush. Wait for the monster to flinch.
No, see, I told you, didn't I? I was like, don't do a hype train, you'll summon a Gee.
Money don't
Don't
jiggle
rush. Wait for the monster to
folds. I
flinch.
like to see you wiggle wiggle. For sure.
I mean, thank you, but stop it! I'm trying to do something on the game and I'm already bad at now, getting distracted. Ah, I felt a disturbance. Yay, we did it!
Always keep
Yeah.
an eye out for ways to use your environment to your advantage.
Hi, Dee.
Nice work.
How are you?
That covers everything. Class dismissed.
Right. God damn. Pro gameplay. Don't let that take away from what I just said. How you doing? Thank you for the gigantic vitamin. And thank you everybody for the biddies. But stop it! My goodness! I'll get you all back. Mark my words. Mark them. Ooh.
Money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure.
Gosh darn it. Don't tell me what
Don't
to
tell
do.
me what to do.
Would you please ever so kindly possibly not do that then? Please. Technically not telling you what to do, asking nicely. I don't like making Panda angry, because then I don't understand her English. What do you mean? I totally talk normal when I'm angry. It's fine. You should have went drunk angry's the worst one. Not that I get really drunk angry very often, but the Geordie really comes out then. I even use the hell man. I'll have bollocks. Right. Drunk Panda Street. Well, do you know how I've got the redeem where it's like, you know, don't swear or blah, 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 blah. I've been trying to think of what I should actually do for that. And it's like, I think I'll just do a shot of tequila rose every time I fuck up.
I know what a yummy hammy heart is. Or is it cute? Have I made that up?
Yummy hummy
It's not
haw.
yummy hammy
I'm
heart,
sorry.
I gotta go cut more wood.
Is it? It is
Mule
yummy
me down.
hammy isn't it?
Oh no, I have no snoozes and we haven't added 30 seconds. No!
Let's have a look.
What?
I'll leave the next. Did we have a snooze? How come I couldn't snooze? That's so mean. Thank you, Necro. It wouldn't let me snooze. Oh, I'm getting a lot of like.
Oh, okay, I'm good then. I'm good. I am not good. Run like a bitch! Oh my god! Oh my god! Who does this? Who does this? Get down there! Oh no, you! Oh, bleh. Oh god! No! Oh shit! Oh shit! We good? We good? We good? We good? We good? What the fuck?
A news forever sliding down there. I mean, like that. So many of your clips, I'll sit and I'll think, no, that needs to be the walk-on music. And then another one plays and it's like, ooh, but that one would be good walk-on music.
You're good people, I know. You're good enough people. You're good enough. Egio is... I mean, he's got me a few times in Discord. So yeah. Alrighty. Alright. So, Dom, do you have a request, sir?
That is
for
one of my
being number
favorites.
500? We do everything.
Thank you for the hype train, everybody. Bastards. Look, with love, with love. Enjoy your emotes. I got a kitty! Yeah, I got that one. Why am I getting such big drop?
Enemy slain. You are on a killing spree.
I don't get another emote until I help get a hype train to 199. 119. 199, Jesus. No problem, Omen. Thank you for being here. I didn't even know you could get trains that high either. I love the horse duck. That's amazing. You're very welcome. Who else am I? Oh, of course. His Highness. How could I possibly? I dropped 100 bits on the pirate guy. Oh, yeah, his streams will probably get ridiculous. But wait, there's more. It's a horsey dragon chew.
How high?
They're great.
How high are you?
The kitty game.
It's what?
I don't like him. I don't really
Does it ever end?
get why he got so popular. I know he was
Or
a
are they
game
just playing
developer,
soccer with it
but
now?
I'm not really big on that side of anything. So, have I missed anyone? I'm gonna scroll through because I don't want to miss any of you guys. Thank you for all the presents and stuff. I feel a bit awkward now. I appreciate you very much, but stop. His dad was a frequently asked question at Blizzard, and the kid just wrote his dad's tailcoats. Oh. I mean, I know he was big in some computer things, but I didn't know how he got there in the first. I can feel this. I don't know how he got that popular. Just because I can. And then there'll be an ad. And then we'll play the game reasonably-ish, properly-ish. As proper as I can.
Oh, does anybody want that?
Right, so we will collect all this. And then while the ad's on, we'll go on the just chatting screen. You just get a laugh at my face. And then we'll go back to the game. I got 5 to 10. Oh, 5 to 10 or... Hang on, are they both your shifts in a row? So you only have an hour and a half between shifts? Or is it meant to be a 5 till 8 shift? That's fucking shocking. And technically illegal. If it's 2 completely separate shifts, that's very, 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 very naughty. Two companies. Oh. Hello there, Pickled Steve. How are you? We do have ads starting in a minute, just so you know. So... where's the buttons? How are you doing? Welcome in. One's from my shop. And the other is something else. Right, go chat screen. Oh, your bar. Okay. Fat fingers gave a dot. To be fair, my fat thumbs normally end up sending like half a message. I don't know if Pickled Steve has been sent into an ad or not. But if you have, Steve, I'm sorry. I hope you stick around and we'll chat when you get back. And if you haven't, how you doing? Are you a Monster Hunter fan? Excuse me while I have my mocha. So, how's everybody's weekend going? Or starting, I suppose. Has anyone got any big plans over the weekend? The only plans I really have other than streaming is trying not to get blown away. I had a bag of sausages and chicken fry. Oh, you did say you were going to make a bag of sausages for your stream. Good. I forgot to eat until just before the stream, hence why I was late on my start time. Because, like, just about to start stream, then it was like, oh, there's that thing that humans need to do. Eat food. I'm not often big on covers. I really like this cover of this song. Because you also were disgusted in the fact that I don't like mustard. And I just don't. Time to put on my steelies. Yes, sir. No. I can't help it. I just don't like it. I don't like vinegar either. It's unpleasant. I'm sure there'll be things that I like that other people don't. There's plenty of people I like other people don't. What have we got next? What have we got next? Ooh. That's one way to word it. Yep, that is one way to word it. Dip you in a tub of English mustard. No, no. No. Hello everybody that had ads. Welcome back. We have done nothing since the ads, as promised. We shall go and continue. So, Steve. Are you a Monster Hunter fan? Is that how you have found us this evening? I do like Marmite. Ooh, switch axe, switch axe. That one? Oh, that one. No, that one. Right, switch axe. Where's the redeem? I did that. And I've done that. With the defender. Which one was the defender? Is that sword and shield? No. Which bloody one's the defender? Oh, bomb sword. Okay. Big ass motherfucking sword. I think when I first ever played the game, I did briefly try switch axe and I was quite a fan. That does not mean I'm going to remember anything about it now. Putting that out there. Okay, so accept bird-brained bandit. Good lord, I feel like I just had an aneurysm. So we're gonna go after the turkey dinosaur with the switch axe. Wunderbar. Gonna use a voucher too. Need to craft it manually. Hold the defender blades and need to craft it. Oh, fair enough. Go get some food. So, anyone in chat, what would you say was like the one meal that you really like that most people think is absolutely rotten? Because now I'm just curious. Like, most people think Marmite is gross. Mushrooms sauteed in olive oil. People would think that was gross. What's the matter with what's the matter with that, like? I also like raw mushroom. A lot of people think that's quite gross. I love raw mushrooms. Mushrooms are lush. Mine's more of a snack. And some Essex girl hates it. For a second, I thought you were like, it's some Essex girl. It's gonna be like, oh, nicely done, sir. My bad. So how are then? What is it? I'm just waiting for someone to say like toenails. You know what I mean? Because we're mature. Right, switch axe. Defender switch axe. Oh, it is better than what we've got. And we can make it. Well, come on, you gotta tell us now. I'm curious. Pickle. Well pickled, Steve. I am surprised at that one. I don't think I can upgrade it yet. No, I can't upgrade it yet. Right. Let's go get us a turkey dinosaur. It's filthy. Mind you, I'm saying I don't get why people don't like mushrooms. You know when you do stuffed mushrooms? I'm not a fan of that. Because they kind of go slimy. Don't know how to describe it. Don't like it. Oh, I figured out how to do that yesterday. Hang on. Nope. Right, we're going to put that there. I want to get rid of that. Any cheese puffs in a sandwich with ketchup and the fake floppy cheese. Until ketchup, I was fine with that. Some might say it's nice, but it can be questionable. Reminds me of Sisters. Filthy! Yeah. They cook them wrong if they are slimy. Most places that I've ever had them have cooked them wrongly because it's like, oh, slug. The only stuffed mushroom I make are the mushrooms stuffed in my mouth. Fair. I'll not eat those ones though, that's a bit weird. Right, don't want that on there. Technically don't want them, but well, they're in there now, so. Bunny! Is that the swag axe? It is! Ready?
The switch axe has two forms.
It does. How do I swap it again?
Sword.
Oh.
You can power up the sword attacks by
Yeah!
injecting them with file energy.
Oh, I look like I'm doing that game. I can never remember what it's called. You know when you sweep the ice. That looks ridiculous. Fuck yeah, it does. Sorry, Bob. Nope, Pete. And then you switch it. And... swing, swing. It's like a lightsaber. I did equip the defender. How do I switch it back? There we go. And then we put it away. It looks ridiculous. Stop. Behave yourself. Right. They're so tricky to catch, you know. You wouldn't think it. Oh. Ooh. I've been trying to kill the BAM dinosaur dragon thing. Keeps running off. Maybe I'm just very hungry. Oh. I would offer you food, but I'm on an expedition. I don't have any. Go get food if you are hungry. Or go get stuffed mushrooms. But cook them properly so they're not like slugs. I knew there was something around here. I thought it was a flower crop. But a mining outcrop will do. So we need 3 light stones. We need 2 more. And we can make the disco stew outfit for the cat. Oh! Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Enjoy your emotes. What the fuck was that? No. Here, buddy, 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 buddy. Castodons. Ooh. One of them things. You'd think we would have came across a footprint by now. Oh, thank you for the follow too. Welcome in. Feel free to lurk or talk. We only bite if you ask nicely. I need to stop saying that, you know, because then one day someone's going to come and be like, oh, really? And instantly we're probably all going to be like, fuck off! do, 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 do. For anyone that's new in here and has not watched the previous Monster Hunter stream, I won't give you any spoilers. I have played the thing all the way through before. All the way through Iceborne. I won't do spoilers. Anything that I do mention, like some of the potential crossovers, it's not tied to the story. I will do my best to not ruin it for you. The only thing I'll ruin it for you with is my amazing gameplay. Hashtag bite my bitch. Haha. Turkey dinosaur acquired. We'll all just get ultra defensive when asked. Sometimes when not asked. I like how I was just whinging that there's no footprints and the game's like, oh, you want footprints? You want footprints? Okay. How about these? And some of that. I do find it weird to sniff them. I know I kept saying it yesterday, but I do. I find it weird. Yeah! I mean, I don't have any. But yeah! Ooh. More footprint. I already have a bunny rabbit. I'm defensive because of my own insecurities. I'm just a cunt. I thought I had the net on. Do you know, I go on like we'll proper like, but I think we're all actually quite nice people. Except maybe Bearded. You thought I was going to say Ace, didn't you? Him too. Right, flash pod. Ugh, Rhino web. I like it. Both suck if you ask them nicely. No. Naughty. Sorry, Mom. Stop sniffing the footprint, you feckin' weirdo. Don't worry, my mom's not here. She'd pop up in chat and laugh if she was. As you guys know, because she's done it before. If I'm honest, I think I'm the most moody, but I have a soft spot for charities. That is fair. think everyone can be moody. It's okay. Because you know what? It's not a phase, Mom. Ah! I see the turkey dinosaur. On the map. Whee! Yoopah! Fucking Tarzan. Whee! I missed that footprint. Oh well. Got that one. Come on. Where you at? There you is.
If you're clever, you can use the slinger to distract monsters.
Yeah. Should we use the sword? Oh my goodness. Hit it. There we go. Jesus. All right, Billy Elliot, calm down. Ha! That looks painful. That's a pretty big sword. Yes, it is. Hello, Indy, my dear. How are you? Can I have a shout out for Indy, please? Thank you. I'll turn this down. Oop. Oh, look, a wiggly wibbit. Where'd it go? Whoa! There it went. Thank you.
Don't forget, it is clipped. Just so you're aware.
Man, it's a good thing you have Queenie, because you
Just
wouldn't
got
have
home from
caught
work. How's Monster Hunter? It's good. It's good. Oh. I'm glad you're doing well, though. Nice to see you. I know I've missed some of your streams. My insomnia's not been as friendly for overseas time zones. It's not been any friendlier to me. I just end up napping right when you're streaming. I will be if you keep on. How can you be moody? Just look at that face. Oh, you cheeky bastard! Fucking dodge his attack. Fucking cheeky bitch. Fuck up! Bad birdie. Bad. Woo. Have that! And one of... one of those! You little bitch! Ah! Bad chicken! Fucking jumped on us from over the fucking thingy!
My God!
You might have to trim those nose hairs. But I love my nose hairs. Do you not like them? Do you not think they're fancy and fashionable? Hello, Raiders. How are you? Hello, Mr. Maxwell. How was your stream? How did it go? Come here, motherfucker. Ah! Ah! Oh. Such an effect. Excuse me, I'm putting an axe through your midsection. I deserve that. I'll be like more, hi everybody, how you doing? In just 1 second. Pink is where? No. Not. bad chicken. Hi-ya! Yay! We did it!
There's a Kuruyaku here in the forest. You better report this to the commander.
I will once I've carved its flesh. Fuck off! Divin. Don't do it. Watching you. So welcome in everybody, how are you doing? For those who may not know who we are, I am Panda Pop. I am apparently batting the absolute shit out of the ground there. We normally stream like RPGs and stuff, but we decided we're gonna give this game a go because I've been wanting to play it for a little while. Yeah, blast damage is great. So do. I'm sure it comes out the rocks, you know, not so.
Run! Run!
How did that happen?
Oh my god.
Shit the bed.
It's a mystery.
Oh my god.
Do. Enjoy the booms. I do enjoy the booms. And I'm making sure I haven't missed anything when I was like, oh, Mr. Maxwell already got a shout out. I knew that. Thank you, Essex. I'm sorry. Sat not talking in the same room but mouthing off to each other. I love it too. I'm so used to just doing shout outs. We killed the chicken. Huh?
Magnifique.
Do the things. What do you mean? Wild Rift saturated. Oh, we need to get you more clips, you mean? Okay, that's cool. We can do that. We went ahead and got the camp all set up. It's yours to use as you like. And now that I know what you're made of, Fiverr, I hope I can talk you into taking jobs from me more often. Slave labour, you again.
I have something special just for you.
I'm sure you do, lady.
Come back soon.
Basically, she's saying, here's a job.
Magnifique.
Oh, so these are all the ones that we've completed. So, I will replenish them. I've gotten past this in my time between 5 PM and 9 PM today. Yeah, well, you will have done, yeah. Right, register bounties. We'll do that one. Do that one. Well, that's 100 points. What's that one? 40, 60. That's 60 points. So that's the lowest one. Either of those. Oh, that's 60. I'll put that above that one. Yes, overrided. Capture a pink Paraxis. We can try. I don't know how when I was cooking, vacuuming, and screaming at the kids. Fair. Nice! Check you out. Right, we only got one light stone that time, didn't we? We will get more. We will. I need to sell any tradable items. I have none. Never mind, I knew that. It's fine. Hello.
Hunt's keeping you busy?
You got how you... It's easy for me to say. If you ever find yourself struggling, send up an SOS flare. No.
You've done well.
Thank you. 2 Pro Plus protein shake and 2 Monster tonight. Jesus Christ, how do you not bounce off the wall? You got ADHD. Because that could explain how you don't bounce off walls. Nice work clearing out the camp. I knew you'd come through. Finally ready. All right, Hunter, the Pookie Pookie hunt is on.
We're the ones to get it done.
Let's go get us a rainbow birdie thing.
Partner, you'd better come see me.
Hey there.
Okay, I don't need to talk to him again. It's fine. I just wanted to get rid of the little exclamation point. Right. You got my ticket. Neuro spicy brain people.
That reminds me.
I feel like most of us in this community are a little bit neuro spicy. In some way, shape or form.
Time for a little drinky poo. Cheers, Jenna.
Thank you. I have a little bit of mocha left, or I have a gigantic. Look at my tea. I'm gonna have some tea. Oh, that's still hot. How's the stream going? The stream's going good, thank you. Do you still have this? I can't remember if I asked you yesterday. Thank you very much. Oh, I got a new... I think I got a new redeem. Did I get a new redeem? Oh yeah, can't park that there. Because I'm dead mature. So this is what that armor looks like. So the turkey dinosaur is this. I have Rizzle, Tizzle, Undie. Yeah, you clearly rizzed them with the Tizzin. Know what I mean? Look at your lady. Kinda hot. Thanks. No. Yeah. So that's the armor we get from the turkey dinosaur. It's not going to be as good as the armor that we're wearing, because the armor we're wearing is an alpha armor. Alpha. But it is. So. Right, weapon. Let's have a look. Seeing as we're currently using switch axe. Wait, I don't want to build, I want to upgrade. Stop it. Where you at? Nope. There you are. So, we can upgrade to this. If we use the other ones, let's have a look. That is what the Jaguar... Oh, it wibbles. That's what that one looks like. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, we have the bone option. There's a lady under that armor. There is. Astute observation there. So yes, there's that one. I know they don't get quite as powerful, but they can look cool. I mean, look at this one. Hang on. It's got teeth. I'll upgrade this one quickly, so we at least have a harder hitting one. Gonna like beautiful lady while I play some Fortnite with some Welsh dude. Ooh! Okie dokie! Are you gonna stream it? Cause if you do, I'll do the lurky lyrics. Actually, I need to shut down one of these tabs because they're now on me, and we don't need that shit. Right. Clear his throat. So, Yeah, so we've upgraded the Defender, but if you would like us to make one of these fancy schmancy, we can. That'll end up being an electricity one. Not tonight, I only stream once a week. That is fair, my dear. I hope you have fun though, kick some ass. Show them who's boss. Just a chill Friday night, but I'm working on coming back soon. Ooh, I'm so excited for when you come back to stream. We will have to stream together at some point. Hang on. Hurry up! You mean right now or coming back to streaming? Right, so we've upgraded this one, so now we need to go and do a Puke Puke fight. You should, she should, she should. So excited. Obviously when she has the time and stuff, but so excited. Oh, what do you want? Fiverr bro.
Working hard?
Yes.
Good luck.
Thanks. Next week I gotta cancel my Wednesday stream. Oh dear.
Hey there, partner.
Puke Puke. Should we go to the top camp or that camp? I think we should go to that camp. I'm pretty sure they're close at that camp. But now I've said it, it won't be. I'm a perfectionist. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. About the streaming, I can't wait for it to get back into it. Stream more than once too. Well, some people are busy. I know you're quite busy as well. Work needed me to work in the shop on my stream time. Ah, I see. Well, gotta pay damn bills. I'm very excited for some Essex girl to do her streams. Will it be like, do you think it'll be mainly for... Sorry, I know you said that you're going to lurk because you're playing a game and I'm getting chatting away to you, aren't I? I'll X you later.
Oh, yeah.
I hate being a manager. I actually used to really enjoy being a manager. Well, I mostly enjoyed being a manager. There were times where, ooh, I had to remind myself I would not do well in prison. But for the most part, I quite enjoyed being a manager. You miss it? What, you miss being a manager? Right, I need to put some of my shit away. I haven't even done that, have I? It's going to be witchy. I'm currently learning tarot. I want added in somehow. Ooh, well, if you need help, I can help you with that. We could even do, like, emotes that look like... Not emotes. Like, alerts that look like an altar. That'd be so cool. Ooh. Sorry. Now I'm getting carried away. Not even my shit.
You can use the item box to manage your inventory.
I know I can. Thank you. Right, restock. Yes, that goes in, that goes in, that can... No, wrong button. That can stay. That can go there. Yeah, this is happening. Dicks! Dicks! I used to stream like 5 nights a week. So 3 mini versions of me as I have run around. Yeah, I don't imagine with the 3 little ones that would be a very easy thing to do. Ooh, yay! Etsy's great for stuff, honestly. So good. Ain't gotta watch what I say. I'm too far with my feet under the table. Fair. Nope, not what I wanted. Go, 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 go. What you... No, go back. Thankfully, we have time for me to fuck about like this. Because it's happening, so. Right. I may have... Was that life powder? It was. No, I won't need life powder yet. Pop that up there though. Pop that down here. With the snowman and the fireworks. I'll leave you there. Mushrooms! I'll leave you up, beautiful lady. I'll keep coming back in. See you beautiful souls soon. Have fun, my lovelies. I have full faith that you will kick the shit out of everybody. It was hard enough getting on last night. Wouldn't change for the world, though. Yeah. Cute audience. Aww. Bugs. No, you go up there. You can go there. That legitimately sounded like somebody peeing in my ear. That was disgusting. Right. Done. Nearly. Right, now done. Oh. Pats. Okay, so.
You are watching a master at work.
Thank you. You are watching the Tism. Ooh, there's a bomberry? Big bug. Nice. Right. Oh, this is where the kitty cats are. Look at them. Hello. Yay! We got friends. Ooh, in a mushroom colony. Okay. Bone pile. Always handy. Ow. Wow, I didn't realise there was like 2 mushroom colonies in here. That'll be very handy. You get a quest off the Meowskiller chef to come and collect mushrooms. This will be helpful. Yeah. Gotcha. Go on then. Whee! Right, let's go this way. Oh, pookie feathers. Ugh. Toxic mucus. I'm a lurk while I emote on young children's cyber corpses. You have fun with that, sir. Show him who's boss. I never did get into Fortnite. Only because I'm really, really bad at first-person shooters, though. Not because, like, I have any judgment on the game. I've never played it to judge the game, really. Up, there it is. Oh, that was the wrong button. Pow, motherfucker! Yeah! That looks painful. Oh shit!
Your health will gradually drop. Use an antidote as soon as possible.
I am. Excuse me. Swing, 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 swing. It ran away. Because we're scary as fuck. Oh, that went well. Ooh, it did actually. I'm not poisoned. Yay me! Switch to sword, switch to sword, switch to sword. Thank you. Oh my goodness. This is intense. Can I chop its tail off yet? Nope, but I am poisoned. Oh, not poisoned anymore.
You don't want to take hits like that head on.
Shit. Will you stupid mosquito things leave me alone? Nope, that went well. I mean, that's gotta hurt, man. Yay, we got its tail! It's like a fucked up version of Got Your Nose. Look, I understand you're a bit upset, okay? I get it. I chopped off a body part. God, this thing's beastie. Wow, okay.
You did it! Now the commander can send someone out to see if that slag will lead us to Zora Magdaros.
See if that who? That was a bit rude, wasn't it? Let's see if that slag will lead us to the Zora Magdaros. It could have just been a rough winter, okay? Fucking shaming them. Jesus. Right, you stay there, little bug thing. Oh, can I get their corpse? Oh, yeah. You can make armor out of these things, and it's really, really disgusting. Oh. Let's try. Oh, you're so lucky. And we made a friend. Christ, that switch axe got some welly though, hasn't it? Ooh, Palico level 6. Nice. Don't think we have any new weapons for it yet, though. But that's fine. That's fine. We can work on it. Sorry, I was making sure that my tabs were still open. Because I got to be a supportive bitch.
You've done well.
Thank you. Excellent work putting down that Puke Puke. I knew I put the task in the right hands. Just to catch you up, we're hot on the trail of Zora Magdaros now.
And listen up.
But there's more to figure out. I need the 5th to protect our scholars while they investigate. I'm putting you in charge of the Wildspire Waste. The quest will begin once you've convened on site. Oh, Ted.
It's time to begin the Elder Dragon investigation. Make sure you know what you need to do.
So now we need to protect the scholars.
Oh.
Let's regroup at the Wildspire
We
Waste.
need to pet the pig. It's got a little bow in its tail and everything. It's so adorable. We need to rename the pig. Now, I already had pork chop. Does anybody currently in chat have a name suggestion for the pig? My last pig was actually called Senor Pork Chop. I looked it up. And Senor Pork Chop walked around in a pink bumblebee suit. Because why the fuck not? Sorry. I was pouring myself a beverage. If we have no suggestions at the moment, I can wait until later. We can rename the pig any time, really. Oh, what did I just click? Sorry. We'll rename them later. I've only got the one set of clothes at the minute, though. We'll work on that as well, because the amount of clothes you can get for the pig is amazing. Right. Have I done any of these? And I got the pig yet. Is it? It should have just turned up on the base for you, shouldn't it? Oh, we got 2 appreciation tickets. My daughter named the cat. Oh, what did she name the cat? Oh, okay, we have a bounty spot. So that's 100 points, 40 points, 40 points, 40 points, another 100. So we'll do the mining crop first because we're going to a place where there's lots of mining.
Yes.
I finished the mission then stopped. Well, that's, I mean, if you've got shit to do, that's understandable. Oh, there you go. So we have the field update on the Anjanath, the Great Jagras, the Puke Puke, and the Kulu Yaku. Or as I would say, Fairy Dinosaur, Rasta Lizard. I'm just going to continue to call that one Puke Puke. And the Turkey Dinosaur. Oh, you bloody big chicken. Maybe we should call it the bloody big chicken. Cat is William. Oh! Reason I didn't get the pig. Oh, I get you. Okay. Alright. So we've done this. We don't have access to that yet. Should we see? We'll see what the armor looks like for the Puke Puke. And for what the armor looks like on the Palico. I didn't show you the Palico for the turkey dinosaur. I'm sorry. How dare I? After the house cat Willow. I love that name. I love that movie as well. Thank you, Mr. Maxwell, for the tappy tappy dancey dances. Woo. Right. Palico first, because priorities. So, Kulu. He has a fancy moustache too. And a guitar. Or the Puke Puke stuff. Looks like he's about to try and create some kind of flying machine. I fucking love that twerking Deadpool so much. But are these... Oh, we did see the Anjanath, yeah. We can get some of this. We can only get one though. I'll get the weapon for now. Because with this, where we're going next to the Wild Spires, we should be able to get some more mining outcrops, which means we'll be able to get the rest of this outfit and look fabulous. Dicks indeed. Hello, Harmacist. How are you? Oh my goodness. Alright. Not too bad, thank you very much. No, it was, what's it called? Ashford? No.
Evil
Or is
Dead?
it Ash versus Good and Evil? Oh, that one that Mike just said.
Asperger's versus evil.
Ash versus Asperger's. The fact that I show up in yours and Maxwell's clips is always slightly cringe for me. But yeah, Asperger's versus evil. Ah, yes, Asperger's versus evil. So it looks like the armor that we've got.
For Dark Omen
A
wishes to
Defender
make a change.
Katana.
Defender Katana.
Okay. Forge, weapons, longsword, Defender Katana. Ooh, look at the spiky spikes. Can I upgrade it? I do not know. I need to see our armor first. So, this is what that Vespoid armor will look like. Fetching, right? And this is our Puke armor. It's like a weird Robin Hood bird thing. Upgrade. Oh, we can. Okay. New weapon. And this new weapon we're going to use for this quest. I was tempted to get the white suit and shits and gigs. If I get enough tokens after I've done the Palico armor, I might. Oh, look, it's following me. Hi, Peggy. Right. With money, chef's choice. Good. I was wondering when that was going to pop up. I love that so much. Okay. Are you ready? My daughter will be asking me to kill it on Sunday when she sees me active. That is fair. So, Harmacist, how have you been this evening? Have you got much planned with your weekend? Just on the old cud. Fair. Have you had an aneurysm yet? She does the same thing on Minecraft. I forgot my login details for Minecraft. I was on Bearded Dad's server. And now I've forgot the details. I can't go back in. Till I basically reset my password. Oh, you can get pink bunnies here.
To get our hands on the evidence we need. Don't get us killed now, Hunter.
I hardly slept a wink last night. I'm so excited to go out and see this new piece of evidence.
The slag was found in the desert area of the Wildspire. Guide us there.
Yeah, you heard. Slags are found in the desert. This whole time I've been telling people to go to Big Market.
One thing's for sure. The environment here is completely different from the ancient forest.
Obviously.
The Wildspire waste features a mixture of dry land and swamps, which naturally supports its own unique ecosystem.
Right, we've done the flora. Ooh, there's a bug.
Hey, look!
Hi.
A waterfall!
The water filters down through the sand and collects in the lower areas, thus creating a mire.
Oh, great. We get to go uphill now.
Only if it's molten. Only if it's molten.
Now, my dear handler, put your back in it.
Come on! Why is it always spiders?
Look at that insect. Is that some type of beetle?
The wildlife here are
Finding slags in the desert. Oh. I was like, huh?
dry climate.
Oh, look.
Even the plants have learned to survive. The fruit
tough-skinned
scattered throughout the area
fruit.
has a hard shell that helps retain moisture.
And we get hard fruit. Say nothing. Oh, is that a flash beetle? It is. I'm coming. It's an iron slag. It wasn't just a bit of a slag. It was a proper slag.
Dear me, we made it. Can we have a break now?
You're at the top of a hill.
The Wildspire.
You're fine.
That's where we'll find what we came for.
But we still have a ways to go.
Well, on we go.
Onward and downward. Won't let me run anymore.
Downhill might be worse. This is so heavy.
Yep, bye. See you later. I was gonna say, am I gonna speed up or not? Thank you. It was a total slag. Oh, there's an ad starts in 30 minutes. So I will do my best not to fight anything.
Everyone, be careful. Mind checking it out for us there, partner?
I will shortly, because we have an ad soon. What are you fucking screaming for? There's not even there. Right, the ad is tartan. The ad is starting in a second. So I'm going to be right back, screen it. And I'm going to quickly stretch my legs. So I'll see you guys soon. Welcome back from ads, anyone that had ads. If you stuck around, I appreciate you. If you didn't, I still appreciate you, and I completely understand. Ads are shit. Right. That goes back down there. This comes over here. And we're about to go and investigate the unusual noise. Let's go! Slight glitch delay business there. Right. Let's go see what all this fuss is about. Oh, be quiet, you big baby. Ooh, that means this... Nope, the fruit's still gone. Okay, fine. Whatever. Right, we've got our captioner.
Everyone, be careful. Mind checking it out for us there?
Oh, dear me! Rathian! Jumpin' Jaggies! A Rathian!
Yep, now, if I remember correctly, Rathian is poisonous. Rathalos is not.
Know what this means, my friends. In times like these,
I could be wrong.
Important to stay calm
and run for your life.
Go, go, go! Just move on through. You might be able to use your slinger to create some kind of noise to distract them.
No? Yeah. Are we going to use the flash pod? Please? No? No, not going to use flash pod. Okay, fine.
That was horrifyingly close.
It's still here. Will you stop switching out? Jesus! I'm a little bit busy right now. Random citizen. Hold, please. Yeah, bitch! Whoop. You better run. Shot them. So, where were our little friends? I do believe they done run off. Which way would they have run off? Hello?
Finally. I thought we'd never get here.
I don't even know where here is. Oh, they went this way?
Look at it. Glorious. It is
Nope.
absolutely massive. What a magnificent
Where the hell am I meant to be?
Wow.
I know.
We're almost there. Keep it up.
I love how fast your blade motion is with the katana. Might swap over from the bam sword I've been using. It's pretty good, yeah.
You've done a fine job, Hunter.
I mean, I'm glad you think I've done a fine job. I don't know where you are. They full on just left me to die.
Let's see what kind of present Zora Magdaros
Fair.
has left for us.
But they 100% were just like, you got this, right? See you later. And by the way, when at all convenient, check your DMs, me dear. I've sent like 500 clips. Oh, Jesus crikey Moses, okay. Oh,
what kind of
God,
presents
my
Zora
Instagram's going to be
Magdaros has
terrible
left for us.
again. I learned that slag is a bad word according to them Brits. Yeah. Slag is meant to be worse than slut. But if I remember correctly, slag at one point, it could be slut, but I'm pretty sure it was slag, at one point actually just meant someone with a dirty bedroom. And now it is someone with a dirty box. Oh dear, nice sword. Thank you, darling.
Let's see what kind of present Zora Magdaros has left for us.
Necro! Indy says bomb. Well, I think it's a high bomb, but bomb. Is it faster? Depends how excited I am. No. It does a good bit of damage. I'm not sure which one, like, kills the monster quicker. The switch axe or this. Because the speed on this is quite good. But the switch axe has, like, sword or axe.
Let's see what kind of present Zora Magdaros has left for us.
Oh, mine no crop. Yeah. They're fabulous. I'm sure they will be. My Instagram Reels feed thing is just horrific thanks to the Harmacist, because he likes to send us like cringe humans. And you know when you see a video of someone and you're like, why would you put that on the internet? What possessed you? What made you look at that and go, yes, that should go on the internet for everybody to see? He sends me them.
Let's see what kind of present Zora Magdaros has left for us.
So I'll be like on, I don't know, like a witch talk side or a book talk side or something. Then all of a sudden there's some charming human doing something wonderful. That doesn't make you question humanity at all. And it's to the point now where I'll be like, that's enough internet for today. It's fine. You love it, really. I get you back. I enjoy getting you back. Alright, tea is consumed. Now to wash it down with 40 ounces of beer. Oh. But the technical term of slag is waste material from the forgery process. It is, yes.
Has left for us.
The slang version, though, I'm sure it was the slang of slag at one point. Literally meant you had a dirty bedroom, and now it is associated with, you know, swords. I don't want to go there. I know it's a quicksand patch. Do you know what comes out the quicksand patch? This comes out the quicksand patch. Well, yes, that's where slag comes from, because you use them and throw it aside. Yeah, if you're a douche.
Look over there! Another clue!
Me first! Eureka!
You meant the metal fragments, didn't you? Not the people. Our spidey senses are tingling. Oh no! It's Barry the Baroth!
Follow me.
Flee before Barry! Just, I mean, that's where it comes from. I know. Pew pew!
Come on.
Shot him with these nuts! No, I'm not shooting an SOS flare. Don't let that take away from what I just said. Get on it!
I'll keep the scholars out of harm's way.
You drop some slinger ammo.
Woo! Alright, away. You're fine. Well, you were fine. Come on, come on. There we go. Ha-ha! Take that, foul beast! Where the fuck are you aiming, man?
Hitting the monster flying into a wall will leave it easy to attack.
No. I will bash it my way. Probably less successful in their way, but fuck it. Woo. No, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work either. No, that. Ha! Right in the hoo-ha! Wah! Hacha! Oh, missed. Woo. Let me tell you something. Yeah. That way. There we go. Slicey, slicey. Right, we've got to try and stay out of the mud, out of the mud. There we go. Okay, so haven't played this in so long. I'm still a noob at it. I've completed the entire game, and I am also a noob at it. You're totally fine.
Type of slinger ammo. Attacking the part it's latched onto deals blunt damage.
Mud. That, madam, is poop. It's meant to be mud. Honest. For my own mentality, for my own mental state, I'm going to say it's mud. Otherwise, we'll have to do a whole Jeff Goldblum thing, you know. That's a lot of shit. I love the heavy attack, though it hurts. Very true. That it does. Ooh, I need to sharpen my mofo weapon. There was a mining crop? Uh-huh. Excuse me while I, prioritize. My nose knows. Oh, twerking Myers. I love the twerking Myers. However. Hang on, I'm gonna have to find it now. I see your twerking Myers. And I raise you a twerky Deadpool with a Wolverine claw in his buttocks. Possibly one of my favourite emotes now. Oh, that was Rathian. Not that I want to find that, but... They keep sniffing the footprints. It's very weird. Alright, Barry the Barrow. Oh! Cacto! Cacto! Ready? Ready? Do you think we'll get it? Yes!
Whoa!
I got a cacto. Thick as fuck. Yeah, it is. He's thick. Sure you will. Wait. Not supposed to fight the cacti. I mean, you can. I think. I can't remember whether it runs away or not, but as soon as it does 1,000 needles, you're fucked anyway. So, you don't get anything from it. Like, you can't... If you manage to kill it, you can't farm it for anything. Hey, bye. As I said, noob. Well, no, it's not that you're a noob. They did the Final Fantasy crossover. It might have been after you've last played it, to be honest, because they've also got a Witcher crossover bit. There's a slight sort of cross with Resident Evil. None of these are part of the main story, so it's not like a spoiler alerty kind of thing. They're completely optional side events. Right. Undo the net. Oh, the ration. Boom, bitch. Damn right, I broke parts.
Yeah!
Whoop. Dodgy, dodgy. Up. My bad. No.
You've been hit with water blight. That's gonna put a damper on your stamina recovery.
I fucking know it is. Loot, loot. Shoot it. Shoot it in the arse. Hi-ya!
You did it, partner. Okay, I'll be
We
waiting over
beat
by
the
slide.
body. I just remember the ice or Thunderbird in the forest. That one was a pain. The ice or Thunderbird. Do you know the one that always got me when I first started playing this game? The Toby Kadachi. It's like the fucking static weasel. That used to piss me off. Oh, that went well. Pew! Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Oh, you jammy bastard. Where'd you go? Haha, haha! Nope, missed. Oh, yeah. Victory tea!
Oh, hey.
Which is still piping hot.
Glad you're back. Oh, don't worry. I found a safe
It's like my
place for the
favourite
scholars
cup in
to
the
hide.
world.
I guess I'll go round them
Amy
up.
got me.
Wait for us back at camp.
Ooh.
You there. Are you part of the Fifth Fleet?
Maybe. Who's asking? Oh, don't just
Then that
tell
means
them.
The Elder Crossing is upon us
God!
again. The years fly by faster than I can count them.
Too, I know that feeling.
I too am a hunter of the First Fleet.
Nice
Might
to
I
meet
trouble
ya.
you to share your tale with me? Let's find a suitable place.
Do you know what's terrible? I would instantly follow the elf man and be like, okay. I had a Sports Direct one. It broke. I have two Sports Direct
friends are well.
mugs. I didn't have a
Praise
thermos
be.
though.
It sounds like the good scholars are as incorrigible as ever. Might I ask, are you tracking the monster that dropped that massive slag?
I know they mean metal,
I as well.
but I'm immature,
Seems
okay?
so easy. Follow the trail, find the truth.
It was a whole pint. They are. The mugs are, I
Been a
think.
pleasure. Nearby,
And
you
you,
will
or
find
do you mean
my
your thermos
camp.
was a whole
I
pint as
trust it
well?
will be of some avail to you and the others. Please pass a message on to the commander that I am safe.
Okay.
But a force compels me on, and I intend to see where it takes me.
Like, Commander, the Rasta elf man
If
says
you
he is
two
safe,
feel
but a
so
force is
compelled, then we
compelling
will
him.
cross paths again.
Because, you know, he's an
The end
elf.
of all of this.
The force. Holy mother of fucks. Seriously? What? What did I do now?
What did I do? Was that who I think it was?
I got a new chain for my soul. And it's the wrong size. Oh. I got a new pipe to extend my chimney. Don't fit. I'm laughing with you. Harold! Hello, my dear. How are you? It fell off the side and broke into two. Oh, gosh. I made another Moscow mule. I'm happy now. Well, at least you're happy now, dear. But hello, Harold, you lovely human being. How are you doing? How's everybody in the Hatter household? Oh, well, that works too. Oh, no! How dare it not play the clip? La 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 la. Charge Blade. Sword mode boasts mobility and high guard capabilities. Sorry, I was in the Maxwell raid. I've been doing work around the office and just got back from picking up my daughter. Not a problem at all. Thank you very much. Your mustache is a nose ring, isn't it? Yeah. Nose thing. Piercing. So no, I made it myself. I have to stop the urge from doing that all the time in streaming. I'll just... The clip is like my mind. A little blank. I mean, that's fair. I've just... it's wonky. I can feel it. I have to stop there to do that on a regular basis. Yeah. Well, that's why I've got... Normally, I have the tiny septum piercing in instead of the big, like, bull ring looking thing. Because, one, it doesn't suit my face. And when it's not a tight fit, I sit and I'm just like... All the time. All the time.
Okay.
And as you can see, it's a very attractive look. I feel like I'm about to be served a delicious French meal. Ah, because you are, monsieur. Be our guest. Don't hit me, Indy. I'm sorry. Do not do anything horrible. Just makes you look proper snobbish, like a real French person. Are they snobbish?
Head to the Wildspire Waste immediately. Ha! Thank you. You've done well.
I don't do cam all the time.
Emotional damage.
Normally I'd say sorry for the emotional damage, but it's a Harmicist, so you're welcome. Because of the beard and the kits. Well, I don't understand why the beard would stop you from using a cam. Except for a few I've met more recently, they're cool. Ah. See, I've only technically ever met one French person. And I don't think they were a dickhead because they were French. She was a very snobby arsehole. Just in general, I don't think it would have mattered where she came from. She was just a dick. But the people I've met online that are French are lovely. Technically French-Canadian, but lovely. My beard is a Lucifer goatee. I still don't see why that should stop you from using a cam if you wanted to, though. I'm on cam with my beard. I met a few good guys that taught me their words for cheers. Now I'm practically qualified to be part of their community. Ooh, cool. Very nice. What did we... A Baroth, right. So, Palico equipment for a Baroth is this. Rather adorable, if I do say so myself. You do have a cracking beard, Panda. Better than mine. Well, what can I say? Because I can say wanna fuck in their language. Fair. The fact that men taught you that is interesting. I'm French, but also bald, so it helps accept the dickism. I always stream with my beard. Lynch is happy to be on cam with me. She doesn't hide anymore. Oh, does she not? Good! I get around, I've heard. But look, looks like a proper knight or king cat.
Money don't jiggle jiggle.
It folds. I like to see you wiggle wiggle. For sure. Stop it. We've had enough of that silliness today. Right, and then the stuff on us. You've seen my beard panda. I have. That's why I'm saying I don't see why that should stop you. No, Harold, no. Behave yourself. I had 301 bits, and I wanted a round number. Fair. But stop it. And that's the Baroth armor for the people. It's lovely. Thank you very much, Harold. I appreciate you greatly, but stop it. So they're the two armors. Still, our armor is better because it's the alpha. Ooh, do we have any more of the stones to make the disco stew? Do we? Do we? Do we? No, fuck. Need to go get some disco stew. Right, next is... Oh, do we want to keep this weapon or does someone want to change the weapon? If you want to change it, there is the redeem. If you don't, we shall stick with this weapon and continue. I will have to see what we're doing on Sunday. Oh. But if I am free and able, not a problem. Oh, hang on. It depends on the time because we do God of War on Sunday. So I wouldn't be able to play this like on a stream. Do you know I just randomly do that in the kitchen now? Doing my...
The underscore Fantasia underscore Ace wishes to make a change. Charge blade.
Okay, which one's the charge blade? Let's have a look. Let's have it. No, I've spoke to you. Charge blade, charge blade, charge blade. That one? Which one's the charge blade? That's the axe. That's a gun. That's a lance. It's got to be that one then, hasn't it? Yeah, okay. I've never used this one, so bear with me. Do you want the metal one, or would you rather I made the bone one, or would you like me to upgrade this first before we leave? Sorry, that was a lot of questions. Whatever works. Hang on then. Ah. That's fair. Likely you should just use what's proper for the fight. Yeah, no, that's fair. Well, I'll upgrade it so I at least... I'm not getting the absolute shit kicked out of us. Let's have a look. So that's 396. Oh, well. Tough call. Charge blade. Okay, I'll use the defender. I'm not going to tell you to use a Rathalos weapon against an Odogaron. Hey, I'll use a Rathalos weapon against an Angry Clifford. I don't mind. And yes, I call an Odogaron an Angry Clifford because it's a big red dog and it's fucking mad. Right. Let's go. Doo-be-doo. The defender ones are always OP. They are, like, you've got a point.
Okay, let's look for the scholar. He must have left some kind of trail.
Oh, I need to empty the... I forget to do this, you know. I'll have gone and collected loads of shit. And then I'll forget to empty the box. No, keep. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Da 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 da. Right, that's fine. You go. Nya. You go. Nya. You be quiet. You go there. You go. I need to find some nullberries. That's for sure. You go. Yeah. And you go here. Right, what? Hang on. It's like bringing a gun to a knife fight. I'm not used to the people in this game speaking English, sorry. I can only focus on so many things at once, so if they weren't speaking English, I'd be in trouble. I'm not as cultured as you, dear. I can barely speak English. Whee! Right, so I know this has like a...
The charge blade has two forms, sword and axe. Store up energy in a file, then release it through the axe.
Okay. So that's the first one. Ah! Oh, shut up, you're fine. So what was it? Morph with that one. Oh. Jesus! I'll do it. Wow. Okay. Imagine it in Dutch. I'd understand it, but the viewers wouldn't. No, I wouldn't understand it in Dutch either. Hi. Well, that was nearly a show-off. You're letting it get away. I know 2 songs in Dutch. I think I've heard you sing a song in Dutch. And I've heard from Raccoon. From Raccoon. And I've heard G speaking Dutch. Well, I think. Or Danish.
Huh? Wait.
Oh.
What's that there? Wait, wait! What's going on with the scout flies?
Oh. My most favourite one. On a ditch. Fair. I don't know that one, evidently. Oh, a god bug. Missing scholar book. Sticky mud. See? Mud. Mud. Ocean and the Etchbent. Ooh, there's some helm thingies. Don't run away! Ran away, didn't it? Yep. Yep. Knock off German. I mean, one here. Right, so Swish, swish. Swing, swing. Motherfucker. Oh, look, I'm getting done in by a fish. You at least hit the fish? No? Hit the fish. Thank you. I've popped back in to say hello. Hello! Are you kicking butt? You showing those teenagers what for?
Time for a little drinky poo.
Oh.
Cheers, genitals.
Thank you. Thank you, kind sir. They're Nergigante stuff, aren't they? Now that is a bitch. Not as much of a bitch as the Beetlejuice. I know it's called like a Beetle Guys or something, but I call it a Beetlejuice. That's a bitch. Missing scholar book. Thank you. I call it that too. That's what it looks like. Well, that's what the word looks like. It doesn't look like that. It looks like a cunt. Hello, Essex. Are you also kicking butt and showing them who's boss and giving them what for? I never really figured out how to use those bug things. I know how to use them, but I'm just not very good at them. Whee! I think it's supposed to be like Betel Guys or something. Yeah, I know it's supposed to be something different, but I'm just like, nope, Beetlejuice. What's this? Ooh, a mite seed. Nullberry! Get out. Nullberry. Nullberry good. Nullberry good. Thank you, Mr. Maxwell. I realised I didn't actually say what I thought I'd said in my head.
Is that the scholar? What's that he's sitting next to? It looks like a Baroth?
I was being a lumberjack in an XP game. Oh? I do love a lumberjack, you know. You're a lumber snack.
Unacceptable condition! Unacceptable!
Well, I thought it was a pretty good line, actually, so fuck you. Mum, it's a fucking goat!
Oh, I saw it.
Oh, that's that kid at the window, isn't it? When they're like, no, it's just a goat. It's a fucking goat.
I didn't kill the Baroth. It was
Oh, mate, you don't have to tell me twice. I know you didn't kill the fucking Baroth. It was the mudworm! So yeah, this one gets called the mud slug. And another one gets a lava slug. There used to be one on TikTok I was very fond of. What, a lumber snack? There's a couple of lumber snacks on TikTok I'm rather fond of. I like them big. I like them chunky. Oh, I love that. There's a monkey on the car. Fuck off. You proceed with caution. Leroy Jenkins! Ooh, that tickled my nose. Check out the wood on him. Oh, matron. No, don't throw me into the mud, little bitch. Ha! How do you like damn apples? Swish, swish, swing, swing. How about the foul beast? Ah! Hoo-ha! Well played. Woo! Ah! Don't shoot me. Boom.
Charged up too much blade energy. You need to charge the attacks that will deflect.
I'm trying. Get it! Beat the shit out of him! Where's the fluffy boy? No, no, no. You're wasting your swings. You're wasting your swings, you stupid bastard. Yeah! Make some fucking sushi. Take this, and one of those, and a bit of that! Yeah! Nope. Nope. Ha-ha! Boom! Do something! Not that. Will you do what I'm telling you to do? Thank you. So kind. You gotta head out. Okay, my dude. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you greatly. I hope everything starts working for you. Nope. Nope. Oh, it nearly worked. Shoot him! Shoot him again! No. I will read chat in a minute, I pinky swear. You cheeky bugger.
Now's your chance. Hit it with all you've got.
I'll call them it.
But I can't shake this feeling that there's something
Right, what we got?
about those thorns.
We have material as well to pick up. So this charge blade isn't too bad. I'm not sure whether I still prefer the axe though. Right, what did I miss from you beautiful people? Ooh, run, 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 run! Check out the wood on him. Yep, got that one. You need to get a thunder sword. It'd be shocking for him. I'd be surprised if it was anything but. You know, the old thunder sword. You need a fluffy boy for me. I do. I will sort that out. I feel like some Welsh dude is a Sully. Possibly. I was gonna make for some Welsh dudes like walk-on music. I was thinking of Spyro or some kind of old style game. Well, I gotta head out, catch you on the next one. I said bye to Ace. I hope everything works out for Ace. Bless him. We did it! I love that background. He really loves Spyro. I mean, Spyro's great. I still 100% intend to stream Spyro.
This is bad!
Oh dear. I still 100% intend to stream Spyro in a Spyro
Gather
Wanted.
round, everyone. We're ready to begin. Thanks to you, we've made great strides towards understanding the
Not that I
trends
like
turned
wearing
up across
comfy,
the
fluffy things at all.
Our researchers have done some projections, and now we know where Zora Magdaros will go next.
Oh yeah.
It's heading for the Great Ravine.
Oh dear.
The Great Ravine. The huge valley out past the Wildspire?
Correct. So I have a proposition.
Amazing!
I say we try and capture Zora once it gets there.
Have you gone mad?
Capture it? Hear me out. The ravine is the perfect terrain for staging such an event.
It's the
We're not gonna
size
get a
of an
better chance than
island.
this.
Excuse me? I am being nice to you. You'd be pairing me with something from Final Fantasy Fanfare or Donkey Kong theme. That's fair. That is fair. That's what she said. Oh yeah. Doing what to me? Well, that depends, doesn't it?
If we don't take this opportunity, it could be a decade before the next opportunity presents itself. Maybe longer.
Good. Leave it the fuck alone then.
Is it even possible?
If I said it wasn't, would that stop you?
Yes. Murder. What? Oh, what did you say? It says for your walk-on music. So like I'm working on when certain people jump into chat. So if it's a moderator or a VIP, they'll get like an automatic shout out or at least an automatic walk-on music. Maybe it's not the shout out because my shout outs are weird. You've got to wait for one shout out to clear before you can do another one, or it won't do the clip. It'll just do the written shout out. But you can have walk-on music play when you first speak in stream, and I was debating giving you a Spyro the Dragon one.
Then it's settled.
Before we send the hunters out for the capture, we need to secure Astera. An Anjanath has been active in the area. It's
My
not the kind of
God!
monster
Okay,
you
it's
toy
happening.
around with.
Ooh!
We need a plan.
Procedure, everyone. What's the
Ah!
procedure?
Oh!
Wait,
Hang on.
Everybody, calm down.
Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness. Hi, Dre. How you doing? How was stream? Nah, I need to find somewhere to put my controller. I'm sorry. Hello, everyone. I don't normally have this fabulous facial hair, just so you know. But how's everything going? Welcome in. Why, hello there. Well, hello. How are you? Hang on. We'll see the clip first, and then I'll be like, howdy, y'all.
1 HP in a dream.
Oh, yeah.
Got him. I didn't whip him, sadly.
I dropped my mouse. Awesome, thank you. Love my time, Kingdom Come Deliverance. Are you getting the one that's coming out soon? Is that why you're playing this one through? Well, welcome in, Raiders. Oh, hang on. There you go, it got permitted. Thank you, Essex. My name is Panda Pop. We normally don't have this fabulous thing, but why not? We are predominantly RPG gaming, streaming business, but I currently got the Monster Hunter bug, so we're back on that. If you need to do raiding runs or do anything after the stream business, feel free. If you'd like to linger, lurk, whatever, feel free. So, how far into Kingdom Come are you now? Hang on, I'll have to close your tab. I had you tabbed up and now I'll have my face on the screen and I don't want it. There we go. So yeah, hi! I'm dropping everything. I love watching the Tash wobble. I do, but it itches. Like, it tickles your nose and then it goes wonky. I got the incoming one, yes. And this was the perfect time for me to do my hardcore playthrough. Ooh, very nice. Are you excited for the new one? I've seen a few people starting again. Well, we finished the main story tonight. Ooh, well done. Awesome. So, do you have a lot of, like, after-story stuff that goes with it? It does look really good. And I've seen a few people playing it again. I think Raffin's playing it again as well. Excited is an understatement. Good. I like it when people are really excited for the next game. It kind of proves how good the first one was, doesn't it? I can't remember when it comes out. Is it this month? Next month? Something like that? A very entertaining DLC. Oh, good. Very good. Well, I will put it back onto the gaming screen now that I've said hello to all you beautiful people. And you can watch me absolutely fucking... Well, I was going to say destroy this game, but that makes it sound like I'm going to be really good. I'm not. What to eat tonight? Do I see if I can get a too good to go bag or a meal deal? He is, yeah. I thought he was. How fares the monster hunting? Well, we are currently... We've just got the... What the hell was the monster that we've just fought? We've done the Baroth. Or Barry. I have played this game before, so don't worry about giving me any spoilers. I won't give anyone spoilers if I can help it when it comes to the story. I do mention a couple of the optional event crossovers that they do sometimes. But nothing that's affected the story so far. I won't give anything away like that. For anyone that wants to play it. Can't wait for Wilds. Taking too long to come out. Yes, I am kind of excited for Wilds now. I was initially like, oh, I'll wait until, like, you know, that everyone's over it and then I'll get a copy of it later. But I'm like, I may pre-order the game. I'm doing well. I've had a busy day and I've accomplished some stuff. So I actually feel good about myself. Good. You should always feel good about yourself. You're a fantastic human. I can't remember who we just kicked the snot out of. Oh,
One slip up and you're
I can't remember what the name of it is. I call it the water slug. Or the mud slug, sorry. Begins with a J. Always feels good to get stuff done. Yeah.
Commander, if I may, I think I have a great idea.
Oh? A great idea, you say?
Hunter, I could use your help.
Of
Drop
course
by
could.
later, if you will.
Nobody does anything by themselves in this game. Honestly.
Another thing, that troubling report we received. Think you could?
Right.
Yeah. Good then. Let's get this show on the road.
We do have an option, just so you're aware. If you would like me to change weapon, the only weapon I'll be like, no, you're fine, is bagpipes. I cannot work bagpipes. I don't know how to do them. I'm absolutely shite. But I have a redeem, and it is choose your champion, and you can tell us which weapon you would like us to choose. If I've not used it already, you can tell us if you want us to do, like, you know, the bone version or whatever. 9 times out of 10, I'm probably just going to make the defender version if we don't have it. But the option is there if you would like me to change weapons. It does have a 10-minute cooldown, and obviously when I'm out in the field, unless I can get to a tent, I won't be able to change weapons in the middle of a field.
Probably listen to what the chief botanist has to say before we do anything else.
Fine. Piggy! Also, if anybody would like to name the piggy, feel free to let me know. It's so adorable. My last one was called Senor Pork Chop. Nope, wrong person, not you. Noot.
Good to see you.
Thanks. Splendid, the 5th Fleet, just who I was looking for. At present, we at the Research Commission Survey and Capture Squad, or the Go-Getters for short, are studying the Kulu Yaku's behaviour. I refer to that as the turkey dinosaur. I want KCE the pig. Call him Blanket. Okay, I can call him Pigs and Blanket. I like it. We can call him Blanket. We are hoping to capture one alive. Accustom the scout flies to its unique characteristics and then release it. I wondered what KCE meant. That will allow us to track the monster and uncover its mode of... Oh, we have an ad in 60 seconds. When the ad kicks in, I will just go onto the just chatting screen so nobody misses out on the game. Just so you know. And there's nothing in the world I desire more than that right now. Hence my decision to request the help of the 5th. I would like you to perform the capture for us. Of course you would. The quest is called Snatch the Snatcher. Creative. Any assistance you could give would be most appreciated. I'm sure it would, you lazy bugger. Why is it always me?
Whoa.
Whoa. Oh my. Anjanath is one nasty monster. You better make sure you go in doubly prepared. Now, down to business. The reason I called you over is we're having a slight problem here in botanical research and we need your skills dealing with it. You see, we're trying to develop some tools, specialised tools for hunters to be exact, something we'd like to make standard issue. Oh, going to try some proper games, beautiful lady. I'll go back to lurking, not a problem, my love. Thank you very much for being here. I miss you already. Tappy, tappy, tappies. At least it wasn't just snatch the snatch. I mean, that is fair. That would be a little bit rude. Oh, right. The ads are going to start. Zahid. Oh, he's on about a Toby Kadachi. Hope you find it useful. There's more where that one came from, but only if you can take care of our little problem. Good luck. Right, so we've got the Gilly Mantle, which means we'll be able to hide. Well, it says that.
Our next assignment is to hunt Toby Kadachi. We should be able to find it in the ancient
Ready?
forest.
Ready? Go. While the ads are on.
You can't park there, sir.
Well, I'm going to have to park here, sir. Got nowhere else to go. I don't know where that came from. So does it... Have I asked anyone who their favourite monster is? Do you have a favourite monster? I'm trying to think of which one my favourite monster was. I did like the fluff bat. I can't remember what it was called. No, Panda, it says you can't. Well, it also says sir, and I may have the moustache, but, like, I also have chesticles, and I'm not a sir. Peter Sutcliffe is yours. Yeah, that doesn't surprise us, Petal. So, outside of the real-world monsters, what monster in this game is your favourite? Because I don't think I can catch him in this game. I can't catch him anywhere now. He's dead. Mine's a bad apple. Not the drink. No, not the drink. Like the monsters in the game. I'm trying to think what my favourite... I do like the Angry Clifford, the Odogaron. Some dragon thing, maybe. Nice. Nice. There's a few. But nice. Did you ever play this game much, Harm Assist? I can't remember if you did. Have to lose. Have to lose. There was a few Iceborne monsters that are pretty nice, actually. Oh! That's a slight spoiler. No. The Pookie Pookie has a spot in my heart because of Dauntless. That's fair. I like the one I refer to as the Tim Burton dragon. It's further in the game. Like, quite far in the game. It's an elder dragon. It's in a swamp-like region. But the armour that you get off this creature is beautiful. Like, ma'am, it wasn't a phase. Proper gothic emo look and shit. I love it. Love it. Like the Never-Ending Story. If that dragon was in Never-Ending Story, it would have been a lot more entertaining. Hello there, Alucard. How are you? I am good, thank you. I enjoy Monster Hunter very much. This is not my first playthrough, but I won't give spoilers for anyone who it is the first playthrough of. And welcome back from the ads, everybody. If you stuck around through them, thank you very much. I appreciate you. If you didn't, I understand. I fucking hate ads. So let's get back to it, shall we? But yes, Alucard, I'm doing well, thank you. I do hope you're doing well. Do you enjoy Monster Hunter? And have you played it? Does anyone that's just came into chat play Monster Hunter? I'm good. Wanting to come and say hey because you look lovely. Thanks. It's the mustache, isn't it? Thank you very much. Very kind. So, we're about to do the Tobi-Kadachi. Ooh, very nice. Now, the Tobi-Kadachi is what I normally call, well, at one point it was the Sparky Ferret. Or the Static Weasel. Which is silly names for it, really, because it's a giant bloody electrical emitting creature of sorts. But, you know, Sparky Ferret, Static Weasel. Hey, Piggy. Oh, right, we need to change Poogie's name to Blanket. I'm scared, quite frankly. I don't want to fight him. I don't blame you. I do not blame you at all. Right. Thank you very much for the follow. They are anonymous, so you won't get called out for it. Blanket. I just pressed no. What a dick. Trying to think of the one that I absolutely hated fighting most, because I've gone all the way through to Iceborne as well. It would help if I didn't name them my own names, because I then have to try and think of what the real name for them is. It's not always ideal. The one at the end of the first game, the Xena whatever, that one was a bit of a bitch. Also, if anyone hasn't guessed by now, I have the language of a sailor, so if that's not something you like, I apologise, but I have no control over it, so yeah, that's a thing you'll have to deal with. Ooh, big spiky lizard. The big spiky lizard. Which spiky lizard? It is a bit of a spiky lizard. Beautiful armor you get off them, though. Why is it? Well, never mind. I just answered my own question in my head. I was going to be like, why is it, right? Sparky. Sorry. Yes, you said Sparky, not Spiky. My apologies. That'll happen a lot, just so you know. But the harder it is to, like, kick the shit out of, the armor that it gives you. Beautiful. Have you got the El Dorado style event where everything's gold yet? I feel like just woke up. I wish I had that excuse. I wish I had that excuse. You know what my excuse is? I'm naturally blonde and it shows sometimes. I may have the whole, like, ginge going on, but underneath there, complete dits.
You'll need to equip it from the item bar. They're used just like any regular item, but their effects only last for a limited amount of time.
So am I.
If the tool you're using stops working, don't worry. It'll recharge after a while.
We'll leave it there, it's fine. Right. I didn't want to... Oh, gosh darn it. I didn't want to do that. I want to do that. Stupid. Right, anyway. Still put them in my stash, it's fine. I already love it here. Good. Right. Need to empty the box, because I keep forgetting to do that. Quiet arm assist. We are a little bit, eccentric at times. I'm sat. Good. I hope you have a comfy, something comfy, and a big fluffy blanket, because, like, it's cold, man. And it's windy as shit. Right, you can... No, you can't, because that's the wrong button, because I'm a douche. Right, there we go. That can go there. That can bugger off. That can go there. I think I'm good. Good. Go. Yeah. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And off we go. I want that. I'm in Australia. Oh my goodness, you will be melting. It is hot. Yeah, I can imagine. Crikey. That wasn't a not. Sorry. I normally say crikey anyway. That wasn't just because you said you were Australian. Where's the tree? Is it further along? There's normally a tree. Oh, yeah, right there. Cloudy and it's 28 degrees. Nah. No thank you. I couldn't be dealing with that. I'm from the north. It's cold here. I mean, granted,
park this, huh?
Yes, I can. I don't know why I sounded like she told me she was 12. But I did. Hi, Sirius. How are you? Oh, yoink. And yeah, I say that, if you noticed, right, if it's in the winter and your house is like 18, 19 degrees, it's lovely. If it's in the summer and your house is above 10 degrees, you're like, fuck this shit, I need to go and live in a fridge. Or is that just me? I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? I am good, my dear. 1 second, I'll get this done. Ooh, this sounds tactical. Never mind. Oh, went well, I think. I'm back with my new friend for the moment, the nebulizer. You're on a nebulizer? Oh, gosh. Are you okay? You're spot on, to be honest. I'll find myself standing in front of the freezer door. Yeah. It's, oh. Ponders to stream or to curl up with the kittens. That is a tricky one. Because I enjoy your streams, but curling up with kittens, man. Curling up with kittens. If my room is above 10 degrees, I hate it all times of the year. Yeah, that's kind of fair. My room is pretty cold most of the time. Ooh, ancient bone. We need light stones or whatever. Oh, they're from mining crops, man, not from bones, stupid cow. Right. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. Hiya! Oh, it's dead. Here are the fishy. Oh, I'm getting beat to shit by a fishy. Dead fishy. Yeah. Just some residual phlegm that doesn't want out, so breathing's a bit rough at the minute. Oh, bless you, pal. Do we have a server we can join? You do, yeah. We have. If I learn how to spell again. There you go, lovely. I also feel you need to talk more stereotypical French with that mustache. Well, I mean, I do tend to swap accents anyway. But I feel more. Hey, Watson and what Watson. So on and so forth. I'm not very good at a French accent. I mean, I'm not very good at any accent, but I'm really not very good at a French accent. I can be like, be our guest. But then I'm like, I know people that are French in this chat, or at least French-ish. And I'm like, please don't hate me. Oh yes, pip pip tally ho. Indeed. Ooh. Be very quiet. hip, hip. Try California blonde accent. Or is that like a valley girl? With this mustache? Like, oh my god. Whee! I didn't even go down here. I can try, but it's not going to be good. I have no idea what to say now, though. It's not organic. I mean, can you imagine a valley girl with this on her face? Like the curliest little mustache. It's adorable. It's giving French. Do you get many Susans? I don't get a lot of Beckys. See, now that it's been said, and now I know that people are waiting to hear how terrible it is, I'm like... I get a Karen from time to time. Yeah, I've seen a few Karens from America on TikTok, and whoo! Some people haven't been punched in the face, and it shows. Just saying. Violence isn't the answer, but sometimes it fucking helps. I do quite a good old Greg. I never watched that, you know. I know where he's like, you know, you ever drunk Baileys from a shoe? But I never really paid too much attention to that TV show, if I'm honest. It was a bit weird. It is. It is. The Mighty Boosh, that's the one. I couldn't remember what it was called. Excuse me. Thank you. Oh, lovely. Just getting some skid marks. Thank you. So kind. So kind. Ooh. Fuck off. Be gone, foul creature. Yeah, you want money, sad? Have some. Have some. Swish, swish. Swing, swing. And you, little bitch. Hey. Why are you running? Hey-ya! Really? Really? Hit the bloody thing. Damn. Drinking from a shoe is big in Aussie. Is it? A shoey. Oh. I don't think I would ever drink from a shoe. I don't give a shit whose shoe it could be Henry Cavill's shoe. And I go, no, I'm alright, thanks. Surprising information for me as well, that. Right. I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember what we're meant to be doing here. Ah, Tobikarachi. A shoey. It's nasty. I'll never do it. You only do it with your own shoe. I definitely wouldn't do it with my shoes. I know where they've been. Right, that's an Anjanath footprint. We're not after a fluffy dinosaur. Oh, all the things to drink from. A shoe. Yeah, no. No. Every time I shake my head, it's like... Blah, 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 blah. And your shoes know where you've been. I know. I know. But we have an agreement. They don't tell on me. I don't tell on them. Haha. Static ferret footprints. And an Anjanath. Right, what we got, what we got. Excuse me. Thank you. Oh, lovely. Shit. Hiya! Really? Not one motherfucking bird? Oh. Aye, it is that. Left one you gotta... It's that left one you gotta watch out for. He's sneaky. Actually, it is the left one I've got to watch out for, because it's my left leg that's got nerve damage. I've just done a giant fucking circle. Okay. Oop. Snot. Who doesn't love collecting snot? Thought I was over that when I left care. I don't mean I was in care, I mean I worked in care. Just to clarify. This way. La di da. Okay, so there's nothing up here. So I have to climb up. I know I'm going in a big circle. I'm directionally challenged, okay? Go up there. My knees only hurt when I will stop there. Same. When you're fitting carpet, right? Needleberry. Mushrooms. Yes! That! Good for working on carpet. They are! They are surprisingly helpful. Thank you! I try my hardest. Oop. Footprint. Dun, 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 dun. If I'm sat down for too long or crouched down working in the shop. Oof. With my spinal issues, you do not crouch. Here we find the fucking static weasel. Are we able to join your game session? If not, it's okay. I was going to start an alt character. I haven't got it set up to do that yet, but I could. No, don't do that. See, that's what happens when you do that, stupid. And see, I told you.
You'll get stunned more easily now.
Thank you, random citizen. Fucking jump, you motherfucker. Right. Will you behave yourself? Probably not, no. I was gonna try and hit you. Where are you going? The one problem with this thing, it's jumpy as fuck. See what I mean? Ooh. Also, what platform are you on? Because I know it's not a cross-platform game, and I am on console. See, for this animal, I prefer using speedy weapons. Only because it's a dick. Oh, good. Me too. Oh, wait. Attack it. Stop swinging. Good. God damn. Whoopa. Get it. Yeah. Thank you. Oh no. Do I have a nullberry on us? Yeah, I do. Oh shit, oh shit. Excuse me a moment. Thank you. Come on. There we go. Move, move, move. Oh, don't. Oh, don't move. Just stand there like a divvy. I know! Oh, come on. I was just about to swing and you got him moved. It's not very sportsmanlike.
Run, bitch! Run!
I can't. I'm stunned. Come on, come on. Oh, good. You better run. Fucker. Right. Ooh, flowers. See, quick weapons are much better for this one. Right, where we going, where we going, where we going? Where the hell are they trying to go? I want to follow that. That way, thank you. Oh, hang on. PlayStation Plus just ran out. Shit, oh, that's typical, isn't it? So I'll buy the new one at the end of the month when it comes out. You mean the new this? They have these things climbing trees in this one? Yeah. Yeah, they do. And doing backflips. Yeah. I need to pre-order it, but I need to pre-order it after I've checked funds. Right. Hi-ya! End of Feb. Right. End of Feb. Yeah, I can do that too, motherfucker. How you like them airports? Ow. Monster Hunter Wilds. Yep, that's the one. Ooh. No! Let me punch you in the face with my sword. Yeah. Oh, okay, I deserve that one. Stop being stunned. Stop it. Woo! Pew pew! Oh. What season is it from? I'm not sure, really. Oh, no, 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 no. Right, stop it. Thank you. Craggy. Keep getting stuck in cutscenes. I have Rise. I wasn't a big Rise fan, but me and Fang talked about this before. Hi, Fang, by the way, sorry. This was my introduction to Monster Hunter World. So, most people that I've spoken to anyway, where this was their introduction, they tend to prefer this one to Rise. People that have played it before this tend to have the opposite. I know there's no need to be, but I'm going to say it anyway. Get some honey. I'm coming for you, you sparky weasel. Oh, in a moment. Mixing up a shake now. Be right back. Not a problem. Take one of them. Take two of them. And let's go get our butt kicked. Because it's sleeping. No.
The monster's tired. Now's your chance to deal some serious damage.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Oh, of course it bloody jumps out the way. Oh, thank you. Yay! We did it!
You did it! Let's head back and report to the chief botanist.
Right. And then we'll go and see what the Tubby Kadachi stuff looks like. Oh, that was just in time because we just hit the 3-hour marker as well. Woohoo! Who do we go and see? Oh, there's a god bug. Where's there a god bug? God bug? God bug. Okay. Cowabunga! Oh. Gotcha. Any others? Anything from the trolley? You didn't chop off the tail. No, I know. I don't think you can chop it off after it's dead, can you? You just kind of get what you get. Oh, claw. So we've got pelt, claw, scale, electrode, bone. Oh, Palico level 7. New cutscene and the canteen has been upgraded. Nice. Parts damage is only applied when they're alive. I thought so. Killing it. For shame. It was just sleeping for a very long time. Don't you judge me. But you can capture for higher rewards. I know you can, but I don't have the stuff to capture yet. I know I can get it, I just haven't made it yet.
Come see me. I've got an urgent quest.
Right.
You can't park there, sir.
Hello, Beard. How are you, dear? Also, is that a piercing? No, I grew it myself. Yes, it's a piercing. How's it going? How was your stream? Right, let's have a look. So, Palico equipment for... Ah, right. The stream was good. Good! Enjoying a few rums. Ooh, very good. So that is what I called the mud slug. Jiru... whatever. Very gladiator. And the Kadachi stuff is just fucking adorable. Look at it, it's just so cute. It's just so cute. The cuteness aggression is real. But look at it. Still don't have enough for that. Our stuff looks like... So that's the mud slug stuff. Fetching. How's you? I'm good, thank you. We are just about to find somebody to raid into. Because we've hit the 3-hour marker, perfectly timed with killing the Kadachi. I am going to hop into a VC after this, though. So I can be like, oh, hi. Let's have a look. So we've got that one. And this is the Kadachi stuff for us. Not as cute as the Palico one. I'll give you that. May come say hi. You should. Gala suit, yeah. Weapon-wise, let's see. So we currently have... Oh, wait, we currently have Defender. So this would be the Mudslug stuff. Then we have... This would be your... Ooh, your Toby Kadachi. Which will give us... No, that's not what that will give us. So obviously Mudslug is water damage. Toby Kadachi stuff is thunder damage. So next time we're on, if you fancy spicing up the weapons, I'll buy you a gun. However, we will save. Defender is beast balls. I know. It is good. Like, Defender does give you the bigger damage at the beginning of the game. I don't know if it holds out through the rest of the game. Because I know you can start getting, like, you know, bigger stuff. But we've just saved. We're going to swap onto here. I like this song. I mean, it's there for getting people to Iceborne. Well, yeah, exactly. But I don't mind if we... Because obviously we've got the swap weapon redeem. I don't mind going for ones that look more, you know, people want to see more aesthetically than they do that cause damage. Because at the end of the day, either way, it's going to bash the fucker, innit? Right, let's have a look who is available for us to raid. I know Eternal's on. Would we like to stick with Monster Hunter, or would we like to go and see someone that we know? We did go to see someone we didn't know yesterday, so I feel like we should go and see someone we know today. See who we know, yeah. So we have Eternal playing Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Medicare Bear's playing Marvel Rivals. Demonimist is playing Hunt Showdown. Neon's playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, Monster Hunter's a true hunting game where if you go in up at the bar... Demon. Demonimus. Like a feather with you at my mind. You act like a bitch. Do as you're told, god damn it.
He's down below.
Bitch, get off my boat!
What the hell is this guy doing down here?
I just took a mermaid back. I literally spawned as you walked down, and I was just like, gun. That poor.
I love his laugh. Right, so we are going to go and see Demonimist. As always, you lovely bastards. Thank you for the raids. Thank you for the biddies, although fucking behave yourself. And thank you for all of the... Oh no, I dropped my mouse. Thank you for all of the lovely stuff and for keeping me company. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. I will be back tomorrow, and seeing as I skipped it today and yesterday, I'll play Crash Bandicoot. But until then, I may see you all in the VC shortly. If you fancy popping in and saying hello. I'll probably be playing on this, but on a different character. Because I won't play this one, because this is for you guys only. So yeah, thank you for being here. I appreciate you greatly. I'm rather fond of you. If you tell anybody, I'll deny it. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!